We still have with us sports as basketball analyst Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. He's also the National 3x3 Program Director and the head coach of the Gilas Pilipinas men's 3x3 team in the Southeast Asian Games. So Coach, bali-balita nga, no? You recently narrowed down your pool already from 12 players. Now it's down to 7.
Right.
We're talking about Terrence Romeo, CJ Perez, Robert Bolick, Chris Newsa, Mac Bello, Mo Tautua, and Jason Perkins. So 7 na lang. Coach, what went into selecting these 7 players?
Yeah, I think initially we tried to go for those who were committed, number 1. Number 2, we had an early evaluation on the pool that we had and ended up with the 7 players right now.
And Coach, of course, for the SEA Games, you're gonna need 4 players, no? Yung final lineup talaga. So, of this pool, may mga shoo-ins na po ba kayo para sa Final 4?
Dito sa 7 na natitira, we're looking at 6.
Okay.
Just to give us the initial 4-man roster, the initial, and then 2 players on the reserve slots. Because depending on the accreditation and eligibility and of course yung kung may masaktan, wag naman sana may magkasakit, at least it will give us the flexibility to at least put in 1 or 2 players on those 2 slots that will play eventually in the tournament.
So, 6, Coach. So, isa na lang po ang,
Yes.
ang matatanggal. But Coach, any shoo-ins based on your practices, your trainings, the things you're looking for the national team?
Shoe-ins, none so far, no one so far. We are trying to be as fair as possible, but quick. Because the timeline is not too long before the competition starts. So hopefully within the next 2 practice days, we'll be able to make our final decision already. But right now, it's a happy problem for us with 7 players remaining in the pool who are really talented individually. So we have to make sure that we can put in the best possible fit given the timeline that we have prior to competing on December 1st.
Coach, this is the first time 3x3 will be included in the SEA Games, right? And the Philippines, we've been dominating yung 5-on-5 eh. Pero
Yes.
pagdating sa
Iba to
3x3, ano ba, tayo po ba yung nagdo-dominate sa Southeast Asia pagdating sa...
Not really dominate. Actually, kung titignan natin kasi itong 2019, yung parang simula nung talagang aggressive participation of the country in the global stage, not just in Southeast Asia. But for some of our neighbors in Southeast Asia, matagal na silang lumalaban eh. At seasoned na rin sila. But most of these players are also professional players. Meron akong na-meet 2 weeks ago na people from Indonesia and they gave us a heads up on what to expect. Not only is the build-up para sa 5-on-5 na basketball, kundi they have been preparing for the last year, for the entire year para dito sa Southeast Asian Games. Kasi nga may element of surprise eh, dahil unang beses pa lang isasalang. But Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam are competing abroad. No? And Singapore has always been solid kahit sa 5-on-5. So expect a strong opposition. At kakausap ko nga yung coach ng Vietnam 2 months ago. Sabi nga niya, he's bring in also some players who have that pedigree na may dugong taga-Vietnam at may dugong Amerikano. Actually, meron na kami nakalaro.
Okay.
Oo, mahusay. At sabi nga niya, magdadala pa siya ng mas malalaki naman. So, the competition here is quite tricky. I know it's going to be hard. But with the PBA players na pinahiram ng PBA at sinuportahan ng SBP, hopefully, we'll be able to accomplish the mission. But it's not going to be easy because the opposition is going to be tough. Kasi ano lang ito, Pawi, 2 days lang. 3 games on December 1st. If you make it, you play the semis. In the semis on the 2nd. And in the finals on the same day. So you play 3 games on the first day, and then 2 games. So that will be 5 games in 2 days, and no missteps allowed. So we are praying that we will be all healthy and that the best available combination will make everybody better, hopefully attain the mission.
Coach, what does the team's schedule look like leading up to the SEA Games? Sabi mo, kasi we're talking about PBA players and the Governor's Cup is ongoing.
Yes.
So, kamusta yung schedule nyo? We've got like a month away before the SEA Games.
Ang reality, Pawi, these players play 4 times a week. So right now, we are seeing them once on Mondays. Last time around, which was last week, we saw them twice because just to try and enable ourselves, all of us, to catch up dahil may mga hindi nakarating nung Monday. But for this week, kasi may nakita na rin ako mga nagkasakit, meron din mga nasaktan. So we have to be fair to the mother teams, and also at the same time, take into consideration yung welfare ng mga manlalaro kasi professional players ito. But I think the timeline is by November to increase the number of practices eventually. But for now, we also see how they're playing and the kind of yung rigid competition that they're facing. We're banking on, number one, yung conditioning is already there. Yung ano na lang, immersion into the game. Kasi iba eh. May mga bagay na iba, oo, pati sa rules. But all things equal, importante sa amin, they will be healthy kasi 7 na lang eh. And they will be committed to just representing the country. Yun muna ang aming didiinan kasi para sa akin, yun ang ngayon ay pinaka-importante given the remaining days before the competition starts.
Well, Coach Ronnie, thank you very much for sharing all your thoughts and updates on the national team, and we wish you all the best, of course, in the coming Southeast Asian Games. Again, we just had National 3x3 Program Director and Sports Desk Basketball Analyst, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc.